What is going on, people? Happy freaking Thursday. We did it. We're pretty much to the end of the week, or at least my week. I know for a lot of you, there's still tomorrow going on, but this is my Friday, so welcome to my Friday stream. I hope your trading day is off to the running, as I saw GJ. Looks great. It's definitely a miss on our end, and EA actually wound up being a really good trade to close at this break even, because as you see, would have took an L. So some things to touch on, and then we're going to try and see if we can find anything today. I did a little bit of work on the stream yesterday, and I feel like it's starting to get in the right direction. And I have this basically as my camera. It's just my Mac. Webcam, but I have my really nice cinema camera, and hopefully by Monday I'm gonna have that as my camera, so that should make this stream just a little bit more um, professional, I guess you could say. Capital Cash is in the house. Good morning, brother. How are you? Welcome back. Thanks for being in here. And then I also did this to make this a little bit quicker and easier. Would you look at that? Disclaimer. Trading any financial market requires a high level of risk and may not be suitable for all investors. You should only trade with money you can afford to lose. Proper risk management is essential in trading all financial markets. If you do not have an understanding of proper risk management, it would be best to educate yourself further before beginning to trade. The content I provide is for general information purposes only, as well as entertainment, and should not be interpreted as advice, investment, financial, or otherwise, as I am not a financial services provider. However, if you choose to follow along with any of my trade positions, please know that you do so at your own risk. So we're getting a little bit better, we're getting a little bit cleaner, and the stream is starting to come along. So I also did this. You guys can hear this through the stream as well. So just let me know if the volume's too low, too high. If it's annoying, I can adjust it here. I can make it like, louder. I can make it, not so loud. So if it becomes a distraction and you can't really hear me over it, or if you like to be a little louder, then we could do that. But like I said, we're getting there. Gee, good morning. How you making out? Yeah, we're getting there. Just trying to, get things where they're going. But I'm really excited for the camera. I think the camera will be a really nice addition. I was looking at it yesterday, and I was like, yeah, this will be really cool. So the main thing is trading. So let's get into that. I know that there's 8:30 news coming. I'm actually going to leave this like this so I can see the time. So yesterday we wanted to stay overall to the downtrend on EA yesterday, because we were saying that we were really trying to target this low down here, and I've been trying to sell it forever and ever and always, but it just hasn't been working out. So then we saw that it was in a correction and potentially could take it to the upside yesterday, and that's what happened. And I was getting there, and it was, ironically, or perhaps just because this is the way the market works, it got in right into this ascending channel and never got there. I did move my stop up to 67 right in here at this high of this structure. CJ, what's going on, man? Up 3%. Nice. Good deal. I had put the stop loss to right here at 67. I said, no, maybe it'll hold here and it'll go higher. And it did. But it bought me out. And as you can see, it would have been a loss. So it was good that we did that. And then what happened was it kind of fell off, came back up, failed to make another high. Now maybe this is potentially a lower high. It's going to move lower today with that trend. So we're going to see what happens, but we'll take it from the top and we'll see where we're at. AU moved up yesterday out of this box, and it's just been holding consistently, and looks like it's trying to continue higher. Kind of made a double top right here, but we're still looking like it's in an uptrend. Still in a buying condition. Looks like maybe yesterday had like a little 2-candle bullish engulfing. So maybe we try and come up and get to these highs up here around like 22 to 25 to, maybe even this daily 800. That's all the way up here We'll see. A little bit of a stretch, but we'll take it one candle at a time. And right now, so far, it looks pretty good to continue higher. We just have to see how it handles these highs right here. But we want to stay in that bias. Same that we said with EU yesterday. EU just ran, man. I know Pockets and Supima were trying to short it here yesterday, and I just said, man, I don't like shorting this thing. Stay with it. And you could see it just moved way higher. And on a daily was a really nice 2-candle close. So this thing's, I'm still trying to stay long with. I've been long on it, and somehow I just keep missing it, and taking difficult pairs like EA and things like that. So it's been a really good run for EA recently, and like I said, we did make money to the downside on it, but I need to be paying more attention because the move is up. However, right now we are pulling down and potentially making a higher low. You had on this hour is kind of nice, strong, bullish. So let's see if it moves sideways a little bit and then wants to push and try and come back and test these highs. We'll see on that. So I want to stay with it, but I think it's probably gone on its ADR almost. No, not yet actually, which is ironic. So I guess it didn't move that much. Still plenty of space to get moving on it. So we'll see where it shakes out today. CJ and the EJ. I like that. EA. As we were talking about a little bit just off to the start of the stream, it's just sideways again. It moved up, came down, sideways, down, sideways. I'm still waiting for more push to the downside. A 4-hour, nice kind of bearish engulfing. Doesn't really clear any ranges. Didn't quite get through to TDI, so it's not showing me momentum. But we will keep a note on that it is trying to move lower. It's just a little choppy like it's been. It's just been a choppy pair. Hasn't moved its ADR. Again, this is still a higher low technically from this kind of correction. I mean, if we extend it like that, this is still kind of in this sloppy upward trend, which is why I tried to take it long yesterday, because I felt like it was still in that trend of correction, but a little bit more patience. Oh, and that was the other thing. Look at this on the hour yesterday from where I was trying to get in it. Double wick, reject. Look at this. Pushed up, fail. Pushed up, fail. And then fell off just nasty. Nasty. So I was kind of correct, but kind of wrong. So we'll take the break even. GJ. Really nice on GJ, man. Just so clean, so smooth. Look at this. All week. Monday was a little dicey. And that's why I believe I was trying to take it short Monday, but I wound up pulling it because I wasn't sure, because I really like this overall uptrend. And then you can see from just Tuesday, Wednesday into Thursday, because it's true. Higher time frames tell you this overall direction. Just rising above the trend line, above the liquid 50 in a buying condition. Stay with it. Really nice here yesterday at 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, excuse me. And like we said, when you get a really strong push, sometimes a little correction and then continuation. Supima, morning 1300, 1.8 billion, 10 a.m. at Euro. All right, we're gonna keep an eye on that. On the 4-hour, on a daily, you could see this thing got above like it did off this push. So here's what we did. I'll say it again like I did yesterday. Double bottomed, found a higher low, strong bearish engulfing. This is the entry. This is the stop if you're a swing trader, right? So you're in 133.98, 134.00. Take a 180 pip stop, but you're up about 1 hour. So you can see how you could do it on the daily, the 4-hour, the 1 hour, the 5-minute. Every time frame, just wash, rinse, repeat. Take the same thing. This is a higher low here. You see? Low, higher low, higher high, higher low. overall you would say that you're trying to get all the way up to here, 13900, something like that. Now that may take days, that may take weeks, you know, but that you would believe that if it is going to keep moving higher, first you're going to want to test this structure. I don't know why this didn't pull. We'll just do it like this. You know, first you want to test here, and if you can clear that, then you can try here. So first, this is the target. So that's how you want to keep trading it, and you can see you're getting there. As far as ADR on this thing, still got space. So see how it's holding here on the 5-minute, pushed up, settle, and now it's just chopping. See, it's the liquid 50 is falling, but let's see if we can't get it to hold and push one more time to at least come and check here, which is a good 22 pips away, and if not, go to ADR. We'll see. We'll see what it does. Right now it's made a higher high, so it might come back, maybe kind of retest this area. It kind of already did, but we'll see what it does. We want to be long on this all the way. Hopefully today's not a correction day on that. GU extremely similar, obviously. You can see we just whiffed on this yesterday. And just a whiff right here on this kind of down, up, hold, and burst right here. It was a lot cleaner on GJ, but it worked. It worked well. Similar again to GJ. Come test these highs right here, 127.45-ish, you know, in that area, 127.50, something like that, because came up, made this nice push sideways, and then 1, 2, 3 days of push. So looks good. I say we stay with it to the upside. No reason not to. Again, on the 4 hour, just been rising. 2 candle, 2 candle. You know what I mean? These nice engulfing candles, they're the ones you want to stay with. Just been a really nice week actually, and I just haven't. I mean, I'm up on the week. I'm up almost 4% on the week, a little less, probably like 3%. So I mean, yeah, it's been a good week, but I was really trying to crush, and there was a lot of opportunities to crush this week. So we'll be mindful of divergence here, slightly divergent. This is under this liquid 50, but we want to stay with it. We definitely want to stay with this to the upside if we can, as long as it presents. How's the sound on the music? Is it too low? Is it too high? Is it annoying? Is it just right? I can't really hear it in my headphones, so keep me posted. DXY was the call of the week. Call of the week. If you guys remember, I said this thing looks like it's going to shit off, that it's just going to fall. And we were saying 96.50 back down to hit here. And I said if it does break through on the 4 hour, you're probably going to see it move lower to try and come and touch this structure low, 9600, something like that. And you can see it is. It kind of broke. It's retesting this area. It looks like it wants to continue lower. As that continues lower, EU will continue higher, and that is why I should have been looking for EU yesterday, right in here. This was the breakout for a high a day. Down one, kind of a broken 1, 2, 3. But that was the entry. And look at this thing, man. You could have made 4 figures, at least for me. 75 pips, you know, 50 pips by the end of the day. So can't really hear the music. Okay, cool. Well, that's good to know. So at least it's not too loud. So we'll do a little bit more. Something like just a little something for you guys to listen to when I'm not talking. Here comes EU actually. 8:45 candle close, 2 candle bullish, right off the 50. Not bad candle formation. If you're looking to take it with the trend, stop down here, maybe below the wicks. I'm not sure about the body. Maybe take a couple extra pips below the wicks if you're inclined to take it that way. like we said, we would say we want to stay with it. And as the DXY looks like it's trying to fall off, you see what I'm saying? Down, sideways, 2 candle. Not a bad entry. I don't know if I want to take it this early, but if we're staying with the trend, that's, you know, a probable entry, in my opinion. And it might go. Maybe I should get in on it. Even if it's at a 1%, maybe I should take an entry. But you know how I like to trade. I don't like to be in this early, so I'm gonna wait. Same on AU, kind of 4 candle down, not quite through this liquid 50. It is slightly divergent. You can see how it's kind of like sloping off just a little bit. This is kind of rising. Double pin rejection came down. You still want to stay to the upside on it though, so I don't want to say like this isn't moving higher. I don't know if I want to take a trade this early. I'd rather, but I mean, you could see up, sideways, 2 candle bullish. Did the same on the or doing the same, I should say, on the 30, up, sideways. If it closes nice on the 30-minute here, maybe I'll just take a 30-minute entry. And then I'll see how it looks on the hour. We do want to stay long biased, obviously. $15-minute chart, EU looks like it could be creating a head and shoulder. Don't know if I see that. I see what you're saying. Like this would be a shoulder, but you would need it to like consolidate sideways. It would need to do a lot, in my opinion, to start to create that structure. In my mind, it pushed up, it came back down. You want to see it at least push back up to these highs at another 20 pips at 65. So that's why this could be a good, because you could get in here. Say you're in at 45. Say you put your stop at, I don't know, 33, 35, 10 pips, and then you're going for high a day at least, if not higher, because again, we're in an uptrend on the daily. We're in an uptrend on every time frame. 4 hours hitting this trend line and trying to push higher. So I don't know that I quite see the head and shoulder yet. This is a nice bullish pattern to try and take it higher. Good risk. I think that would have been worth an entry. But again, for me, I just don't like getting into the market this early. But this is clearly something that I would take time and time again. So I probably should have took that entry, and you could see I'd be in some profit right now, because we know where we're trying to go. We know we're still trying to stay to the upside. EA double rejection. I'd like to try and stay away from EA today just because it seems like it's a choppy pair, and I keep getting in these difficult trades with like EA and letting the dollar pairs just kind of fly by. I don't know. Yeah, so you're getting some push on EU. Same with GU. Looks like a nice 5-minute close here. Take that, put it under the structure. 10 pips, go for 20. It's got about 30 from where price is at the moment. See, that's a nice candle on the 5-minute here. You're still trying to buy it. So it looks like maybe some early momentum on these dollar pairs, but I'm gonna watch and wait and see. Thanks, CJ. Appreciate it, man. I'm trying, man. Like I said, I'm just trying to do the same shit over and over and over and over again, you know? Wash, rinse, repeat, do the same shit over and over again. Which way should my camera be? Same structures, same patterns, same channels, same squares. Just if I draw it the same, if I read it the same, then I should get consistent outcomes. I just try and keep it as simple as possible, you know? Hey, this is holding in an uptrend. This is a nice breakout structure. I take it. Not trying to make it complicated by any means. Just really focus in on just trying to keep it simple and staying with trend, you know? Not trying to call tops, not trying to call bottoms, trying to find clean moves and stay away from shit. Like yesterday, this was shit. And this was clean. And I just missed it, you know? Morning, babe. So, but yeah, I do see this area right here, like Supima was saying, where it's kind of like, now it's back to it, so it could maybe have a little bit of issue with it, but I definitely want to stay to the upside. So we're gonna let this market wake up a little bit, and we'll go from there. See what CJ's working with. Did you get in down here on this kind of like broke up, and then was it kind of like this for you, almost like a square? Kind of like broke out, came back, retesting, now potentially see if it comes to the upside. Overnight trade could have been in down here in Asia as it was holding this 50 to come up to at least check these highs, and did. Now fell off. Yeah, exactly. Cool. Nice, man. Hey, 3%. It's good money. Good stuff. Let's look at this. Down. As euro pound is down, you would expect GBPs. This is like, it's almost similar to how DXY is the counterpart to EU. EG is kind of the counterpart to the pound pairs. You can see how you've been getting all this downward momentum on this, and then you've been getting, you know, the upward momentum. So this, like we said, looks like it's still trying to come higher, and EG does look like it's trying to come down. So just want to try and stay with that. We got 7 minutes, and we're going to get a 4-hour candle. We'll get an hour candle and a 30-minute candle, as well as a 15-minute candle. That's why I like 9 o'clock, because you get a lot of closes, and you can really start to paint the picture a little bit better. So as you can see, you're on the 4-hour, you're still just rising up. I hope that it just continues. I don't want to say that, like, hey, maybe it's going to get a pullback. You know, I want to say that we keep going, but you can see back here on GU how we're hitting this structure at 2666. So let me do it like this, just for our eye, not as like a necessary, like it's going to fail here. But let's keep this in mind, like, hey, look, you are reaching a high. So let's keep an eye on it. But it definitely looks good. It can easily come in and push into this zone all the way up here. You know what I mean? It could do anything. I said we had a really nice 5-minute candle. Pulled back halfway to the body. And now you're starting to extend off. So if you had caught like a pullback on it and you were just watching, you're like, hey, you know what, this still looks good, but I'm going to get it better. Dude, 4, 5, 6, maybe 6 pips. You're up 6. Small risk, big reward, potentially. GJ not as nice as GU, and that may be because of the dollar. EA through this candle, now it's sideways. Again, let's see if it throws another one. And maybe this, and you can see how it's rejecting here on the 15-minute. Said I want to stay away from EA, but you could see, and this, look, it's choppy. I gotta try and stay away from this pair. You could see though the rejection here. So pushed up, pinned back down. If you had taken this breakout, you would have been stopped. If you took this 2 candle, you'd still be in profit. But it's still just rangy. And at any moment, I think, you know, and that's what I kind of feel happened yesterday, because you're in the downtrend overall, we would say. You know, we're not going to deny that this isn't just, it's sideways, but the pressure is to the downside. And I feel that at any time, the higher time frame direction can kick in, and that's kind of like what happened here. Like, it just failed to break Tuesday's high. You know, it kind of just came right up to that area, and it was like down, and it came up, double topped, divergent, down. So is this like now down, lower high, and then it's gonna fall? But we're still kind of making higher lows here. I don't know. That's why it's just choppy and it's a mess. And I prefer to try and stay with these dollar pairs if I can. I'm not sure if today's going to be like a correction day, and like I said, I don't want to call that. That's not wise to try and call like a day. Hey, today's going to be a correction day. Like, how do you call that? You know, the only way to do that would be like, hey, we're failing to create higher highs, and I see divergence and prices kind of, you know, failing off. Then maybe you can look to try and take a correction. But for now, we just got to try and stay with it. Has anybody gotten themselves in anything today besides CJ? Everybody's doing all right? I feel like I'm going to get myself an EA today. I just feel like... But it's so ugly. Why would I do that? Everything's kind of not the greatest. The pound looks really good above everything. In my mind, GU looks the best. See, you're getting some really nice movement off that 5-minute at the moment. Coming to this high. Nice breakout. In profit. 2 minutes, really nice extension right now. DXY having some issues just a little bit. But we're gonna see, man. Something's gonna present. It always does. I've got myself into a trade every day this week, and honestly, they've all been winners. Monday was a winner. I just didn't sit into the trade long enough. Tuesday was the really nice winner. Yesterday was a winner, but I didn't pull any profits. I could have made 160 if I had left it when I moved the stop into profit. It would have tapped me out. I would have made 160 bucks. So this whole week, every trade that I've taken has been a winner in one way, shape, or form. Now, Monday did wind up being a loss just because of the way that I pulled my trades, but the trades themselves were winners if I had sat in them. Phone mode into GU long earlier because I could finally see the charts. Oh, I'm glad you can see the charts, G. Put myself out like 4 pips in profits. I understand. Yeah, you're good. You're good like that with your mental discipline. But again, looks like depending on where you got in, looks like you had yourself something really good. But hey, ease into it. It's like a hot tub. You don't want to get burned by diving in. There was 8:30 news. The rest of the day seems pretty clean, quiet. Some wholesale inventories here at 10. Oops, that's not the one you want. You want this. So that's a really nice close here for a high day on GU through the through this liquid 50, cradling with the trend line under. You could see some extension on this. I think that 5-minute candle was the play. If we were going to make any early plays, this was a really nice one. 4-hour candle, it should just be up and running. Oops, let me switch it to this one. Yeah. Outside the CMA, just cruising. No reason to call stop to it. Looks like it's just really nice and clean and running. On the hour, people calling me who I don't know. 30-minute. Yeah, looks good. Looks like it's got potential. A little bit divergent on the 30-minute, but looks pretty good. AU. A little flat. Up, up, sideways. Maybe you get that next push to the upside. Definitely want to stay with it if you can. As long as it keeps giving you potentially bullish signals, you want to stay with it, but this doesn't look that great. Could be a little bit choppy. EU. Came down, pushed up just a little bit of rejection here. You could maybe see this next candle try to come up. You know, I don't want to say that's not going to keep rising, but it does look like it's, this last was a doji here. It could be a little iffy. I'd like to stay to the upside with it, obviously. Don't want to go away from that. You can see here it's kind of just like up, sideways. Let's see if 30 minutes it comes down, and then in that 9:30 candle, maybe we get a push up. So if it's like chopping, maybe this 30 minutes is down, kind of correcting. See if it finds support and kicks up around 9:30. So we'll give that 30 minutes like a cake. Santiago in the house. What's up, my guy? Why did I not close partials and move to stop loss? I did move to stop loss yesterday on EA to break even, and that's how I got bopped. I was in here with these pins rejecting. I got in here, and as it was moving, I had moved my stop loss to I believe it was 67, right up here. But I was like, oh, I could come back here and test it, and I thought that maybe my entry was a good price to leave it, so I pulled it back, and then it just fell off and never got to where I was going to. I was about 10 pips, 8 to 10 pips from my take profit up here, and I just try to hold it all the way in to my 2R, because 2R is not something that's extremely difficult for me to hit, and I was just hoping to hit it, and it didn't work that way, so just didn't work out. EA does look like it's rejecting a little bit. You can see this, an hour of pins low. It's holding a support. I'd like to see this. It's choppy and ugly, but it does potentially look like it's trying to move higher. As you can see on the 5-minute here, it's kind of just like made a higher high. Now it's holding structure here. It's an ugly pair, and I'm trying not to trade this today, but overall it's still kind of in this correction as it's making higher lows, but I don't know. We know that overall it's in a downtrend. It's just sideways at the moment, so we'll wait and see. GJ, let's try and wrap this up a little bit quickly. 15-minute, not the best, kind of holding this trend line. It's underneath the liquid 50, so that might not be the greatest move, but 4-hour you can see just continuing to move up. It's sideways right now. I'd still want to stay to the upside on it and try and get into this high back up here, you know, where we have it drawn. Why not? Why would it not try to go there? This just isn't the greatest candle right now, I think, to be getting long. GU, I said, was a lot better looking, and you can see it's immediately pulling right back down. We are getting near the same thing like on GJ, this structure high, so you definitely want to stay with it, but be aware that maybe you're going to get a little bit of correction. It is failing under the trend line at the moment, is slightly divergent on the hour, so maybe we are in a little bit of like an ascending channel like this. So maybe we're in something like this. It's not quite a square yet, in my opinion, because it's not flat. It's still kind of making higher high, higher low, but it's starting to fail. So maybe some type of rejection does start to happen today with all the momentum. I don't want to say that, but you can see here, like on the DXY, it hit a low, came up, hit a low. It was divergent back here as this was falling. This was kind of flat. Now it's starting to rise. So let's see what happens. Let's take it slow. And this is why I didn't want to get in any trades too early, like GU or EU. That's why I didn't want to get in anything just yet. I like to let the market wake up a little bit. Yeah, maybe I should have kept that 160 yesterday, Santiago. But I don't know. Just trying to hold that for the 2R, but it might have been wise to just cash in, because then just add it in, add it in. If it's going to get there, it should just keep going, and it didn't, and that's why it fell off. So yeah, I'll keep that in my mind. And I have been moving it into profit, but then what's happening is it just keeps running and it hits my 2R, and I'm usually bopped out of the trade as I'm moving it into profit. Today looks like it could be, I don't know, could be a little iffy. We've had a lot of movement this week. I want to try and stay with this momentum. I don't want to call an end to it. Just make sure that we find some good entries. But what were we saying? We were saying 30 minutes on one of these pairs. I think it was AU. No, I don't remember what it was now. That was EU. Up, down, maybe. I don't remember. I gotta start marking these off a little better. Yeah, you can see this is still probable to come higher. It broke up, now it's sideways. You'd expect like another continuational push. You just gotta get up through this trend line, but it is in a buying condition. Everything on this does say buy. You know what I mean? There's no reason to call a stop to this. And you could say, like, oh, it's got a lot of extension. But stay with it, man. Just want to try and stay with this. Wick back just a little bit. Now you're starting to get some momentum. 5 minute here. Is this going to be the one that kind of pushes strong out of this square? You can see here in a square. See, this I would call sideways. Break into it, sideways. I want to see it break up and out of it. If this one breaks strongly through it, then maybe potentially take the entry. And maybe your stop is below here. It's maybe like 12 pips, something like that, and see if you can get it to run. It's got space. You know, you'd at least want to come and test these highs at 90. So that's 15 pips from where we are. ADR is 07, 08, so another 18 pips. We want to stay long biased on it. No reason not to. Thanks, Santiago. I'm trying, man. I'm just trying to continually do the same thing, you know? Just try and keep it the same. So here you had to push on GU on the 5 minute. Came up for, 10 more minutes. Came back down. One to stop you out. Still holding. Let's see if you get another push. I said I do like GU a little bit better than GJ potentially. You can see how it just pins all the way right back down. Looks like it still wants to come higher, so we'll see if it can make a move. What's EU doing? Yeah, see, EU really wicky, choppy, if you will, for EU. Kind of pinned back down. So this, I would have got bopped on this if we had taken this at like 8:45. It would have came back down, stopped me out. So that's why sometimes it's under the body, sometimes it's under the pins. I don't know the rhyme or reason for which is which. Here's a 5 minute close. Nice candle, has GU look. GJ. not that great on these GBP pairs, but Euro moves a lot stronger with DXY. We'll see. I'm not completely sold yet on it. It does look like it kind of broke this ascending channel. Now it's holding and it's trying to move to the highs. Higher time frames again telling us that we want to stay long biased on this. Is having a little bit of trouble at this area. Can't deny that it's been struggling for the last, hour and a half. But again, this could just be a push up, sideways, and then the next continuation. EA struggling. Ascending channels on both the 1 minute and the 5 minute. AU, a little choppy. It could just be one of these days. Like this whole thing is just in a this is a big choppy square on this. Something like this. You can see how it's just kind of choppy. It hasn't really broken out to either direction. So you'd be anticipating a breakout if you took an entry on this. That could be difficult. To me, this is just sideways. This see like this really strong push up, and then we get sideways, and then we get another push usually. Let's see if we can find something that indicates that that is correct. And that's like the 30-minute up, sideways, and then we're going to get that next push to try and retest these highs. Because again, this is in an uptrend. We do recognize that we're getting towards this area. But on a bigger picture, this is potential as well. So I don't know. It's a little iffy. I want to stay with it though. I don't want to call top to it. It's divergent on this 1 minute here. You can see as it's trying to make higher highs. Each consecutive high has been lower, so that's not a great look either. Short term, I don't want to give up on this trend though, because everything tells me that this is still moving higher. Yeah, see, it's just a little bit. I mean, this rejection is fine. You know what I mean? Like, I like how it comes up and it's like kind of holding EMAs and pins, but it's closing above. If you can get a really strong 5 minute break up and out, then maybe I'll be inclined to take it. It's a little divergent as well on the 15 minute. You can see this is making higher highs, but it's not quite on the TDI, so it could struggle. Could just kind of hit this uptrend. Could just come up here for like another 10 pips. We'll see. I don't want to forecast, I just want to react. Slightly diverging here as well. This is a higher high, but it's not on a TDI, so we do have some divergence going on today, so that could keep things from moving the way we would like to see them move. But we want to try and stay with the trend as much as we can. I wonder if EA is gonna break. See how it's like falling? Guess not. See this channel here? I'm sure you guys can see it. Something like that. Is this now down, sideways, down? It was a little bit square in here too. So it could still be, you know, I'd want to see it really break out, like break under. Let's see what this 5 minute looks like. I'm so drawn to EA, I don't know why. Yeah, see, it's like you're under this 800. Potentially could like hold. I don't know. It's ugly. This might not be a great trade because, like I said, you do have this rejection down here. It's like kind of rejection and holding, but I don't know. Trying to look for a better pair. 915 up, sideways. Let's keep an eye for GU and GJ. Here comes a push here. Let's give this 5 minutes. See how it's like extending. Let's see if it breaks out of this box, and then maybe we can take GJ. GU. Which one do I think is better? That's the question. You want to take the better pair. I'm not sure. I'm not sure which one's actually better. If it's the yen or the dollar. You would think they would move in unison, but I'd like to find one that's got more pop. This one might be a little bit further to its structure, as this feels like it's right on it and could stall, maybe, you know, or slow. Or this one has a little bit more, you know, this has got like 50 pips to this high. Like 40, 30, 35, 40, you know. So maybe GJ is a little cleaner, maybe actually on second thought. You would like to see them both go, but you know, there is a difference between yen and dollar, and that can change momentum. They could both move together, but one could move stronger than another. And this looks like it could potentially be moving stronger. So I'm going to keep an eye on this. Let me take a look. I'll be taking it at high a day. It does look like it's not quite divergent. It's a little iffy. It's a little iffy. It does look like it's breaking out though. I hope I could get this off, because I know I have trouble with GJ sometime, or GBP pairs getting the trade off. See, I knew it. All right, I'm long GJ. My stop is at 66, so it's under these pins. My entry is 79, so it's a 13 pip stop. So I need 26. So I need to get to 136. 136.06 is where I'm trying to get to. Which Is that what it is? Because I'm in at 80 and I need 26, so 136.06. So I have to break for a new high a day. I have to get all the way up here. I basically got to get the ADR. It did break out. It's through. I'm going to keep a really, really close eye on this. Your long EuroCAD. Or UCAD, excuse me. Divergence. All right, man. So that would maybe see EU come down. Yeah, I see this could be, I see what you're looking at, like based on like, here comes EA as well. Gonna keep, like I said, I'm gonna keep a really, really tight eye on this. So far it looks like it's trying to move up. I need to get the 136.06. I'm gonna be video pause, yes. See if it's got the gusto. I like the breakout. Kind of through this consolidation, breaks out. Maybe it goes a little sideways. If this gives me any signs that it's not continuing, I'm going to immediately pull it because I don't want to ignore what's going on with like a little bit of divergence, you know what I mean? So it could just hit these highs and fail. But I want to try and stay with the trend. I don't want to, you know, call a bottom, or excuse me, I don't want to call a top to this. I don't want to say it's done. It's still rising. So I want to try and stay with that momentum if I can. And like I said, if it doesn't, then I'm going to get out of it. EA. Still trying to move higher as well. Really, really choppy here on EU. But we do want to stay to the upside on it. Just because the trend has been moving up, you want to stay with that. GJ, I'm right at break even. I'm basically covering my spread, but it's a little bit choppy. We'll see. We got 7 minutes for the candle. Like I said, my stop is at 66. Oh wait, no. I have 14 pips. Hold on. I'm in at like basically 80. 66 is 4, so I need to get to 08 actually. Ooh. I'm gonna keep an eye on it, man. If it moves, I gotta get all the way up here. So I gotta break for a new high a day. The trend has to keep running. This could be an issue. I don't want, like I said, I don't want to call a top to it, but look at how much rise we had, and I'm trying to buy potentially at a high. That could be, it could be a little bit of an issue. It is coming off of this as support. See, I made a high here, using as support, now pushing. I'm going to be very, very, very aware of what this is doing, because this could be not the best play. But we'll see. Time will tell. EA is just a choppy mess. Let's take a look at. Now, I don't trade this pair. Yeah, man. I like what you're seeing. You're kind of breaking the way I would draw it. Oops. Like, to me, this is like a descending channel, like this. And you're kind of breaking the channel sideways, and now you're starting to move up. I see you're definitely potentially going against the trend, but I see what you're looking at. Getting, I'm right at like break even into profit on this pair. If this pushes up and gets through this liquid 50, then maybe it shows momentum potentially. I guess I'm just trying to stay with it. I don't want to call tops. We'll see what happens as we start making our way higher. If it starts to fail, if it starts to look like really strong, I'll put it for you here on the 15-minute. The entry is 66. No, it's a lie. The entry is 79.3. Entry 79.3. I'll just 7. I'm going for about 28 ticks, and the stop is at 60. So that's what it looks like. Stop is down here at 66. Entry is at 79.3, and now I'm trying to go for about 28 pips. So maybe 06 was correct. Maybe my math was right. Maybe I don't need 08. Maybe I need 06. Because it's 14, which is 28. But it, yeah, so it's kind of like 07, something like that. It's one of those in-betweens because I didn't get in at like an exact flat number. So I'm right at break even right now. It's literally break even. We have 2 minutes in this candle. See if it closes strong, or if it starts giving issues. Could be for a new high a day. Looks pretty decent so far, but again, I'm keeping a really, really close watch on this just to make sure that it doesn't decide to flake out on me. Got my eyes on GU for today. EU is choppy to me. Yeah, yes sir, reversal midweek. Market never moves. 100% Santiago. Agreed, man. 100% agreed. And that's why, even though you're kind of like going counter to the trend, maybe you did catch a little bit of a correction going on. You could see EU struggling. DXY still trying to move lower. It's a little struggling. So we'll see, man. Time will tell what these things are doing. This trade is looking pretty okay. DXY does look like it wants to keep moving lower. So I would, for me, in my opinion, I'd try and stay long EU. I try and maybe stay short UCAD. But again, it could just be, this could just be choppy and then it falls off. GJ looks like it's getting a little bit of push. Nice. That's a nice break for a high a day. It's 5 minute. We'll see if it goes ADR. You know what I mean? I kind of need it to go ADR pretty much. 130. I need it to go ADR. So I'm kind of fighting an uphill battle. But again, we're staying with the momentum. We're in profit. It's a really nice candle right here. 30 minute. Again, above the liquid 50. You guys know when I say how I like that. I like being above because you're carrying and potentially you're getting momentum. So I hope that this holds and I hope that it continues to drive. And we'll see how high it goes. But so far, so good. GU looking great too. No slouch on this pair between GU and GJ. I did say that I had liked GU a little bit better, but I opted into GJ, so I hope that doesn't come back to bite me. Really nice new high a day. It did hit here before, so could just fill the wick and I could see trouble around 90. But for now, we're moving in the right direction. and that's all I can do is be like, okay, we're in the right direction. Let's give it another 15 minutes, you know. See how it runs. If it runs really hard, if it just makes a real hard push and then looks like it's kind of like getting weak, then technically if I really wanted to, I could even move my stop and minimize my risk. I could move my stop to 72 and say, hey, look, I want to keep my stop under this candle structure, so that way I could be in for less risk potentially. I could move it like this and still go for my same reward, and that could be a way that I mitigate risk as I see this structure close. But I'm keeping it under this structure right here for now, kind of this 2 candle. This would have been that one at 9 o'clock that we were looking at. I think it was on GU as well. No, maybe it was GJ. But anyway, we are where we are, and we go from there. EU struggling at this level. So the question is this maybe a higher low? Has this made a lower low, a higher low? Does this actually correct off a little bit? As you see, it's struggling, but I don't want to call that yet. I wouldn't want to say that yet. I just want to try and stay. You can see this is nice and through this liquid 50. To me, that says momentum. That's all that really says to me. My entry was based on the 5-minute break out of this box. Now it could come back and test this box. You know, it could be like a break, kind of recheck it, and then potentially move off of it. I'd like to just see it continue. But these highs are definitely going to be, you know, make or break. So we'll take it one candle at a time. EA. Just choppy, 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 choppy. You can see it kind of came down, went sideways, came into it, down again. Now it's like right back at this level. It's hard to really call on this pair. I'm right back a little bit down on GJ. I'm right back to like my entry. I'm slightly in profit, like a pip or so. I don't know. I'm a little bit not feeling on this trade. Like I said, it was a really nice break, but I don't know. We'll see. Stay with it. I don't like taking trades like at the high. It's kind of hard. I'd like to rather take it in this bottom. Like, to me, this might be late, but we'll see. Because it is divergent. See how if it comes back and just holds this, like my entry holds this high, previous like high a day, and then continue off it. Dollar index moving up. This could be good for Santiago. This DXY is starting to move up. EU maybe starting to move a little lower. Maybe I should be looking for the short on EU instead of playing with this GJ position. Pima 2 attempts to break above. Yeah, I see that, man. Maybe this is the position. Maybe down is the move. And like I said, maybe I shouldn't be playing with GJ. And I should look for something that's a little bit more clear and obvious. Stock market's open now. See how Euro plays. I'm gonna keep an eye on this. Kind of got this channel brewing. It's almost like a squarish, but looks like that to me. This is a pretty nice push down, but it could be a little choppy. I'm gonna see what happens as these trend lines and RSI meet here on this 5-minute, because you're gonna get a reaction. It could hit it and hold and then move off it. I don't know though. This might not be going the right way for me. We'll see. I don't want to get too sucked into these lower time frames. I just feel like it moved a lot, and I'm trying to buy it at a high, and this could be silly. I think I might need to get out of this thing. It's back at the box now on the 5-minute. Because it kind of broke up. Now it's right back at this range. Does it hold the range? I don't think so. Nah. I'm getting a lot of pressure. I close this trade. I'm getting out of this. This is wrong. That's why I don't like buying at the high, but I tried. But I closed it. I'm out. Took a small loss on it. EU, let's see if we can find... Yeah, see, I think maybe we're missing EU. Santiago with the UCAD might be right. Yeah, this feels like news. I don't like how that was driving back down, and I'm glad I closed it a little bit light. I closed it, wow, by the time I should have put it, like I said, up here at maybe 72. I'd have saved myself three more pips. But I got out less than my stop. This just wasn't right. And again, I don't like buying at the highs, but I'm trying to stay with the momentum. And maybe it wouldn't have ever stopped me out. I should have been looking at EU. EA is looking like it's just a mess. GU. Divergence was real on these pairs. And I've been trading a lot into these divergences. And like I said, maybe this would have never stopped me out. And I pulled it too early. But I didn't really like the way that was looking. That doesn't look right. Yeah, you can see I wouldn't have gotten stopped out yet on this. But I don't know. That doesn't look correct to me. Especially with the divergence. Oh, we'll see what it does, but I'm out of it. I cut it short. Definitely this was the play for EU right here. With the stop up here. That might have been pretty good if we were inclined to take it short, because we could see that the DXY, and like Santiago was saying for UCAD, it was just kind of finding a bottom and then holding structure. So again, getting myself into these wrong pairs. I should have been looking at EU for, you know, the rejection here, kind of like Supima was saying earlier, like almost like a head and shoulder. And you could see all this rejection just wasn't getting through it. Anybody catch it short? Yeah, it wasn't a bad move. It wasn't a bad entry necessarily, but after all this momentum to the upside, I know better than to be taking at a high. I need to be taking lower into the structure. And not to say that this isn't going to work, but it definitely shook me out. And there's easier money to be made. It's a really nice break on EU. Let me see if this is really overextended. That's why it feels like news to me. We'll see if something comes up. Right now I don't have anything, so maybe it's just stock market opening and just volatility kicking in. But yeah, here EA falling off right here. Kind of broke the channel, came down, came up, and now it's starting to show you like maybe it's actually falling, but this pair is choppy. AU. Yeah. See if you can get a correction on EU. See if it pulls back up. If it's going to continue lower, it'll start to create structure. You could see the divergence, and I was saying that how each consecutive, and then it had right here on the 1 minute like a nice little breakout, kind of like broke and then started moving. So this would have been a really nice entry in here, maybe like 5-6 pips, and it went like 16. You could have easily got in and out on that. GJ is still kind of just holding this 50 on the 5 minute. Like I said, maybe my close was premature, but I should have maybe just stayed out of it. But I took a swing, trying to stay with the trend. And there's no guarantee that this doesn't move up, but not great. I would have been pulling it right now anyway, as it's like pulling back up. I'd be like, yeah, like, let's just save a couple dollars and get out of here. So that's not what I want to see it do. I don't want to see it pull back on me. Puma's in short. We'll see what this candle does. Like I said, maybe I pulled it prematurely, but when it's shoving like that, that's not a sign I want to see, and I don't know that that's not going to continue. So maybe I got out early. Should have let the candle close because it's just hitting this 50 here. My stop was 66, so I still would be in, but again, I don't know. Not great, but we'll keep it moving. We're still early in the day. Still potential to find entries and make money and make this small loss back. You can see this is really correcting off this push. That's why it felt like news to me, like something came out, but I don't see anything, so I guess not. Wow, yeah, it's just yeah, interesting. It's just interesting across all pairs on that candle. Things just kind of went squirrely. Let's see what happens as EU comes back up. Maybe I can find an entry short. right back into here on DXY. Came under, came back. This is a nice break. See what it does. Again, because like it could still move lower. It could still very much move lower when you start looking at it like on a 4 hour and stuff, an hour. Like this was a break, came back. If your stop was up here, you wouldn't have been stopped. It's just a pullback. It's falling still. That's why I wanted to stay with GJ to the upside, but you can see this had probably way too much push to the upside, and it's struggling right now. It's under this liquid 50. Maybe this is the top, 87-ish, you know, because you saw that it rejected here, tried to fill it, couldn't, and now it's tapering off. So I don't know, man. Ugly. That definitely got pulled in on GJ, and I should have known better. I really should have. But as you see, I would have got stopped. So I saved myself some money. This is an L. We could still end the day in profit. Internet. So I'm not discouraged yet. Let's see how in GU kind of just like hit the channel. Maybe EA comes down to the low. This is a nice little push right here, actually. With this candle, get a stop up here. You can see how it's like breaking. This 2 candle right here. Right here. Just kind of like down and through, like if you're drawing trend line, you're right at it. Yeah. Getting pinned back here on EU. Getting some extension right here. Break, retest, like correction, I should say, like break, correction. This would have been an entry up here. If I'm inclined to stay short, this could be a little late, but maybe not. That's through. Let me keep an eye on this thing. Again, I don't want to go away from this trend. It does look like it's having issues though. Pin back to my pin back here. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, man. This is a little bit of a choppy day today. GJ shit it off. Just push him right back down. So that was good to get out of that. But I should have, like I tell you guys a lot, I don't like to take the first break. I like to see it break, retest, and then give me another bullish engulfing confirmation. Had I waited, I would have saved myself. And now potentially it breaks low, comes up, and then throws bearish engulfing, and then I could take it short. So that was a goof on my part. I was a little eager, and I jumped the gun. I should have known better. So we'll see if we can find it somewhere else. Oh man, I don't even think I can get in EU for like that. Like, I'm getting short on EU. Would have stopped at 35. So I'm above this 1 minute structure here. Let's see if I can get it to push. Don't quite know where my target is though. I know where my stop is. I don't know where my target is though. So I think I'm just going to try and eyeball it. My stop is, like I said, 35. So it's, let's see. Okay. I'm in for a little less than 2%. I would need 17 pips to hit my 4%. So I need to get down to like 131.11. Dollar index looks like it's trying to move up, so we should potentially see this continuation to the downside on EU, which is where I should have been looking the whole time. And I would have been in up here. And this would have been the entry, and this would have been the stop. So the stop maybe at like 43. We'll see if it holds. I hope this level holds. I hope I'm not putting my stop at a bad spot. Look for a support on an hour. AIC potentially could hold and then push higher. Looks like it could be free fall potentially. We'll see how it goes. Let's see. Because if this DXY is going to continue higher, it looks like it's trying to. This is a little iffy. Looks it could hold. Trying to see. Is this divergent here on the 5 minute? This could be I'm going to close this trade for a second. I closed it flat. I want to make sure that this isn't finding support to move higher, because this is divergent. Now it's starting to move up a little bit. And this, so I want to keep an eye on this real quick. I don't want to be early like I was on GJ. I'm a little bit confused today. Maybe I didn't get the best sleep last night, so I want to try and make sure I'm seeing it correctly before I... Yes, this was nice on EA. It finally fell off. So down 199 on the day, which is less than my 2% risk. I just wasn't sure about this just yet. Like, it definitely looks like it could be falling over. This could just be a higher low pinning back to here, and then this trend kicks back in. I see the divergence on the 5-minute where it kind of made this channel, and like if I draw it like this, here, I'll blow it up. Here's what I was starting to see real quick, and I wanted to get out without a really, too much of a loss, and then reevaluate potentially like this, like it kind of made this descending channel, broke out of the channel, somewhat retested it. So it could still come lower, but it's also divergent here like that. So this is telling me that's rising. Oops. And it could just be supporting it like this, you know what I mean? So I wanted to make sure that I was right. I was in it kind of late as well, potentially. And this could fall, and I should have just held my position here on this 1 minute. Because I took this right here, and I put the stop above it. And this could just hold and shake out and fall. I wanted to be sure before I, before I took the entry. We'll see. The dollar index does look like it's trying to push higher, but I can't really confirm that either. Not yet, so. Yeah, here's Santiago. Yeah, I'm a little sloppy today, I won't lie. This definitely would have busted me out. Like I said, does it break the... I took the first push, which I never do. And I wanted to see a break, retest, and then confirmation for more continuation. I didn't do that, and that's why I got burnt. So now the same thing here. It broke to the downside. Does it come back up, find resistance, and then show bearish pattern, and then you could take it short potentially. Or is it just chop back into the box? EA, really nice move. Missed that. So I was telling myself not to trade it again today. $15-minute close. Oops, let me get on the 15-minute chart here. Looks like it's trying to come lower as you're like crossing through. Hour. Still above this 50. Kind of an inside 3 candle. Wasn't fully extended. Doesn't mean it can't keep moving, but not something super clean in my opinion. A little bit better on the 30, but still in a buying condition. So it doesn't just have to fall off. It could, because a lot of people are taking profits, and you know, it's failing to make new highs. It definitely could still fall off though. GJ clearly just divergent. This never got through. Could pull back up a little bit, but I don't see any more momentum to the upside on this. Here we go on the 5 minute. Like I was saying, what you want to see is a break to either side, pull back, confirmation, and then bearish engulfing or bullish engulfing. I jumped the gun and took the first break. And that's why I took an L. Been trading EA all week. And this was just, like I said, I got myself caught in a GJ. If I paid a little bit more attention, and even though I said I didn't want to trade this, should have been watching it anyway, and I would have saw the failure. And right here, how it was just falling off, failing to make highs, just kind of flat, and it just broke out. DXY choppy. And you might see choppy because overall DXY is in a downtrend, but it's like correcting, so it could just go sideways. And that was what I was feeling on EU a little bit as well. How, see, like you are finding this potential bottom here, like a higher low than this off the divergence. So kind of like come back and retest. It could come all the way back up here potentially. And in that case, I would have got hit, and I wasn't willing to take that hit. So I took a small, like $10 loss, and I want to reevaluate, because if it is going to come lower and it's going to give me another signal, and I'll be able to take that signal. And if not, then I'm just going to sit out. Here, see, this is what I was talking about. Break, pin to this area, and now see what happens if you get like a bearish push. Maybe I could take that, but it could just be a choppy day too. Looks like the 1 minute is starting to make a little bit of structure. Down, correct, down, correct. You'd like to see it at least come back down to these lows, at least, because if it is going to come lower, for the most part, it should come and at least test these lows. So could I potentially take a short here with a stop up here, 65, something like that, and see it try and push? I don't usually jump in and out of trades like this, so that's why I'm kind of like, you know what, let me slow myself, because I don't want to just throw it around, because there's a lot of money at risk. Pushing higher. I'll tell you, if I would have got bopped on EU, I'd be 1 pip from getting hit right now, and I'd be super pissed. I'd be out right now. I'd be out. So save myself $250 by just being a little bit aware of what was happening, realizing that the overall trend is to the upside. This could be a double bottom off the correction, like correct down, double bottom, and then continue. It doesn't have to fall. Overall trend is to the upside. Comes down, double bottoms, makes a higher low. Now potentially maybe it's going back into trend. You can see it on the 5 minute. Correction, descending channel, breaks the channel, divergence, comes up, makes a higher low. We'll see. We'll see what it does at this trend line. If it continues to push, then yeah, maybe that's what it's doing. If it fails and starts to push off, it's choppy. I'm glad I got out of it. That was wise. It was a little unwise to jump in it but it was wise to pull out. So we're doing all right today. I took this L, which is no biggie. I was a little bit too eager, but I managed to save myself from taking a worse position. And now it's still only 10 o'clock. I can wait. I can see what happens and see if I actually can find myself something to get into. And we'll make back this loss and the day profitable. Still profitable on the week, which is cool. So we'll see. Take it slow. Everybody doing all right? Everybody's doing well? Let's see what Santiago's making out with UCAD, because I know he's in there. We know Supima's short in EU. Nice. You're getting that push. You're starting to make up trending structure. Looks good, man. Nice read. Good grab. Well done. I like it. Really good. So right back up into this trend line. AU's a mess. I don't think that's going to move today. Really nice move on EA. I just wasn't paying attention to. But again, still choppy. Look at the pins on GU. This would have stopped you out if you had your stop down here on this 9 o'clock entry. But it's still trying to move higher. Because we want to stay with that trend. We want to stay with the overall trend. We don't want to give up on it. And I did say I like GU better than GJ, and I wound up taking the wrong pair anyway. Now maybe I could try and find a little divergence here on this 1 minute and try and get it moving to the upside, but I think I might call it quits on GBP. EU moving up. Clearly would have busted my stop. Overall trend still in play. We're looking on an hour. Like we said, this 3 candle really was kind of trash. Didn't like it. Still above the 50. And what we were saying the other day on a higher time frames, 4 hour, 1 hour, things like that. When you're above the 50, you want to try and stay with it as it hits it. If it's going to come lower, you're going to break under it and then create downtrending structure. You haven't quite done that yet. So the sell isn't quite ready yet, in my opinion. Doesn't mean that this is not going to fall, but we know that's an overall uptrend. It's outside these EMAs. It's holding. It's just correcting. Long is still a viable potential signal, unless it just fails here again. I'll probably wind up just taking this day as a small L, honestly, unless something happens in the next hour or so that really convinces me one way or the other. Because I don't know if I want to take a short here with a stop up here, because it could just come right back up into here, you know what I mean? Deep profit, 6%. Yeah, it was Santiago. Well done, man. Nice job. I dig that. 6%. And it's like fucking whoo. Coming back to these lows here on EA. Made the push. Hey, right here. Came right to this trend line. And like I said, I just kind of like randomly draw these trend lines. So they're not like very perfect. But yeah, you could see how on this 5-minute, it just was like, wait, this actually might be moving up. So glad I pulled out of that. And now here on the 1-minute, you could see came up, found support, starting to push. I want to see what it does as it hits these highs again. Stay with the trend. Stay with the trend. Unfortunately, I was with the wrong pair for the trend. Here it is. See what I'm saying? Break, retest, bearish engulfing. Maybe I can get short GJ if I feel really feisty. 3.5 minutes, see what it does. This is what I didn't wait for on this, because I would have saw it break back into the box and I would be like, nah, that's wrong. I took the break out. You want to take the correction. This is the correction. Break, correct, and then potentially push. Not guarantee. Because again, this is still in an uptrend. But it does seem like it's kind of correcting. So I'll keep an eye on it. Looks pretty strong. Here's a nice 1 minute. I would probably take this whole thing, like 70. So that's like 10 pips. I'd rather wait and see the 5-minute close though. Because again, this could just be holding the 50. It's like a higher low, potentially. But it could still fall down to even here. Even here, something like in this area, it could fall down and still make a higher low. So, it's a little confusing to me right now. EU's chopping. I really don't have a good read yet. This is not the best buying TDI I've ever seen in my life. That's why a sell could be probable. I would take a stop at like 70, like I said. It's about 10 pips. But it could just chop. I might get short GJ off this 5-minute. Break, retest the box, see if it's bearish engulfing. I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, break, retest. I'm with you, Santiago. Just let's see how it looks. Good. It's a little iffy. It's rejection back. 70. I'm short GJ again, or not again, but I'm in GJ again. I'm short this time. I'm in at 55. My stop is 70, so it's 15 pips. So I need 30. But let's see if this thing really rips. So 55. I need to get it down to 135.25. Need to get it down here. Back into this area. Instantly in profit, which is a great sign. Let's see what it does. So far, so good. Immediately, so far, so good. Yeah, I need to get it down to 25. This thing's tanking. Let's see if it goes ADR down to this. That's really far. Doesn't have to go that far. A 5-minute reset. Potentially breaking through this one. I don't know. We'll see. I'm just going to eyeball it. I know where my target is. It's 25. I'm already made back my loss on the day right now. I'm already back in profit. If this thing wants to scream all the way down here to like 05, so I'm going to put it at 135.050 at ADR, but I'm going to eyeball it. And if it hits my 2R, then I'll probably be inclined to pull it. But right now, this thing's fallen off pretty well, so I want to just let it fall. Well done, man. Well done, Santiago. This thing really just fell off. EU falling off too. See, I would have got bopped, so I'm glad that I pulled it. But I could have got back in potentially. But we're in this one right now. We're up. Hopefully this has the momentum to keep rolling. I'm going to put it at my normal. I'm going to put that 25. Just because. If it goes there and wicks or anything. My plan is 2% for 2 hours. So I'm in for, I need 18 more pips. I need to get down here at 25. I am at this high right here. So I want to make sure I break through that. Looks good. This thing's really, really moving well. It's just falling to hell, man. We'll see if it continues. This could be the sell-off. This looks like it's going to be a really nice close on a 5-minute. I'm so confused though. I keep moving my take profit between 25 and 05 because this thing is just, again, I'm breaking through EMAs. Like, it could come to a complete reset here, but I don't know. It's a really nice close. I don't want to be greedy, you know. If I can hit my take profit, I'll be up like, thanks, man. 9%, Santiago? Wow, dude. Whew. Bro. That's awesome, man. Really, really good. See, EU went 5-minute to a full reset. I would have took the L up on this pullback, but the direction was correct. GJ looks nice. Again, I am approaching this level right here, these highs, so it could potentially stall here. So we're going to put, since I'm up this much, I had just hit 1R, I'm going to put this stop into profit, 135.54.9. Just so that I don't lose any more today. And we're going to let it do what it does. See if it gets down to my take profit at 25. So this is a risk-free trade at this point, with the stop locked all the way back up here, 54.9 exactly here on. I really wouldn't want to see it come back up there. I don't think that it should. If anything, I'd like to see it hold this level here on the 5-minute. Like if it like breaks out, I'd like to see it maybe come back and hold here, 45, 46, somewhere in that area, because it broke these highs here on the 5-minute. So just use these maybe and then continue lower. In my mind, this could be a full reset. You can see I broke the 200 clearly. Could come back and retest the 200. Hit it, broke it. It should continue lower. 05 could be a really logical place for me to put a take profit at this like full reset at ADR. But there's no guarantees. How's everybody making out? How's my EU people doing? It's not divergent yet on the 1-minute. It's in a free fall. I would like to see this thing just fall out one more push. It's not divergent on any of these time frames. Again, are hitting these previous highs on the 15-minute. Still very much in a buying condition on the higher time frames. So I hope this isn't just like a kind of like a wick. See how it like drove all the way down, but we still got 6 minutes in this candle. The stop is locked. Hopefully I don't get hit. It's right here. Hopefully it doesn't come all the way back up here. My stop was above. Should I trust it above the structure? 70. It's really like just pulling back on this correction. Let's see. Like I said, I would like to see it hold here in my eyes, in my mind. Something like this roughly, you know, give or take. This isn't precise, obviously, but to me it breaks these lows, come back and retest these lows if there's still people taking profit, but if there's still sellers in the market, hopefully this just kind of holds here and pushes again. It's because it's creating structure now. Down, correct, down, correct, down. You would like to see if it's indeed going to come lower. Because I could close it right here and be up on the day. I'm up like 220. I only lost 199, but I'd like to see the other push. I really, really, in my mind, would like to see a full reset down here. That would be ideal, but there's no guarantee that it gets there. Takes partial. Supima's 3% too. Slammed. Nice. Yeah, see, everything's just a little choppy. See what happens. It's a really weird day today. Just a lot of movement and then like a lot of like just give the candle, close, see what it does. It's crazy. This thing's probably gonna come and bot me at break even. I'm having a struggle bus today, man. We'll see. Yeah, I'm gonna get nothing out of this. That's terrible. Like I said, 54. Nah, I don't know. I don't know yet. It's kind of coming back up into here. Gonna move my stop just a touch up to 60 actually. Just above my entry. So I put my right up here. And I'll as it starts to fall, then maybe I'll move it back down. I just want to give myself a little bit more room just in case it breathes up to this level. Because the next candle, it could close here and the next candle fill the wick and potentially move lower. So you want to give the market room to breathe. I don't want to be right on top of myself. Yeah, it's been a weird day today, Supima, but hey man, not every day is going to be a picture perfect day. Wicking back almost to this level, pulling down. We got 2 minutes. See how it closes. See if it stays under this as support becomes resistance. Like I said, I don't know that I'm like inclined to take the profit yet because I don't see an exit. I'd like to stay with it. Again, though, it is an overall uptrend, so potentially it could be choppy. It could just be hitting this level and using that as support. I'm going to try and stay with it, though. See if people are like punching into this market for sells and drive price lower. Don't deny what I'm seeing. I'm trying to stay optimistic. It's really, really choppy across this market, man. Get EU, man, just grabbing people. Trying to break down a little bit on the 1 minute. Kind of eyeballing that. Keep an eye on everything. But it's just like 30 seconds. Right back at this area. Kind of drove through it, but see if it could fill it. So that's it's not divergent. It's not oversold. That's a little oversold on the 1 minute, but there's still very much potential for this to come lower. There's also potential for it to come higher. So I don't want to close the trade out though. It's right at my entry. You can see. It's like pulling back up here to like where I got in at 54.9. This is people definitely taking profit. Let's see if it can get another push of continuation. or if it's going to use this level here as support. It's kind of funky, man. Choppy, choppy, choppy. I'm staying with it though. I really am. As best I can. So right back to like the 200. So I wanted to get a little bit above it, like 60 up here. Just give myself a little bit of room in case it wants to come back and retest here. Retest this low. And then give another push. And if it doesn't, then I'm going to lose like 5 pips. And that's fine. So I have mitigated risk on this, but I still want to see it play out. I don't want to quite give up on it yet. But it just might not work out for me. Just gotta watch and wait. Yeah, I hear you, Santiago. We entered the market to make money. I should have pulled that 5-4 something yesterday when I was up. I'm just trying to hit my targets. Just trying to stay consistent with my targets. But again, this market's being choppy today. But again, if it's break, retest, maybe it's like a 1, 2, 3. And maybe I can get another push to at least come back and test these lows. Maybe not. Maybe it just pulls up and it's using, like I said, this 15-minute area right here as support. These highs. Break the highs, come back, retest the highs, move higher. I am going against the overall trend. Just clearly to the upside, but this could be a little bit of a correction. After all this push, it's 50-50. This is still very much in a buying condition. Yeah. Not looking great right now. I'm at break even. Let's see how it handles this low. Right here on a 5-minute. I obviously would like to see it just hit and hold. I wouldn't want to see it come back above this. That's why I wanted to give it just a little bit of extra space, just in case it does come hit here. But right now it's not looking right. Wasn't divergent here on the 5-minute. It did go oversold, but you expect it to come back to the 50 and maybe hold the 50 and try and shove again. Still in the position of break even. EA looking like it's trying to make another move to the downside. Now I might not get that push again on GJ. That could just be like, it could come close to it. So I'm gonna see what happens if it comes near these lows again. Maybe I'll just pull it. Play it by ear. I would like to see it hold, but it's on the 200 right now. Break, retest, break again. We'll see. The market doesn't always have to do that. It could do whatever it wants. That's how I'm trying to play that. I'm trying to play my consistency. DXY. Still looks like it's trying to move up. Starting to get a little bit of drop here. Let's see if this thing's got the sellers in it. Guess it could definitely come back and fill this wick. I'm gonna see how it reacts as we're hitting these lows. If it looks strong, obviously I'm gonna stay in it. Now we're getting a little bit of a burst right now, but we've got a lot of time left in this candle. I don't want to give up on it, obviously. That's why I'm staying. That's why I corrected my stop, because I knew it had the potential to come back up and check this. 1 minute's not divergent. It's ripping real good right now. I want to see what happens as we get back towards these lows. I don't want to see this thing flake. I want to see more and more sellers just push it. But it's choppy, but at least it's in the right direction. But it might not get as low as the low, because if it's got people trapped in here, you know, it could do anything. This didn't get through on this right here. See how it just failed. Through the trend line, down, maybe sideways, and then more down. I don't know. Again, there's no exit for me on this yet. There's no reason to get out. There's no reason for me to not believe this is going to come lower, as this is free falling. This is not a buying TDI by any stretch of the imagination. This is a free fall selling TDI right now. I just want to let price fall. I don't want to call a bottom to it. I don't want to call an end until it gets divergent, starts doing things that I understand that it might be. So again, it should at least come and check this low. And if it's going to move lower, it has to come at least test this low. Doesn't have to, but like we said yesterday, I don't play fringe or, you know, I play consistent ideas. And consistently, this is what the market does. It's right on the liquid 50. Could still be momentum in this. I don't see why people wouldn't be selling this. I don't imagine people are buying this. I imagine people are selling into this, so I'd like to see it drive again. I got a minute 40 on this 5-minute candle. Let's see if it closes strong through this trend line. This is a lower high right here. I'd like to see it drive for a lower low. See if it still has the sellers in this market. Take profit is at 135.25. Which is right here. It's not very far. It's about 18, 17 pips. Plenty of space on ADR. As I mentioned, this pair could do like a reset down here. This could, you know, really take off. So I'm trying to stay with it. As we broke that 200, retested that 200, trying to push off that 200, that invisible 200. Nothing's guaranteed right now, though. I'll see what happens as it comes towards these lows. If it looks strong, I'll stay. If not, I'll take the money and close the day positive. Because these lows were like a little over 300 for me. Stop's now going to break even. 54.9. Because now it shouldn't. It already did the retest. From here, I want to see lower. I don't want to see it go higher. So here's my stop right up top here, 54.9. I don't want to see it come back up here. It should push down lower. Pretty somewhat okay close on this kind of 2 candle here. Not quite through this trend line, but again, we still want to see it come back down to 35, if not drive lower. It's not divergent. It's not oversold. It's got every bit of potential to move lower, but nothing's a guarantee. I'm just trying to stay with it and see if the sellers are still in here. Free falling TDI in the 15-minute. Not a buying TDI. People should be selling this thing. Really chopping right here, so I hope it's kind of down, consolidate, and then down. Could be choppy though, but we'll see. We're getting a little push. Santiago. Fortunately, I haven't had that issue. Come on. See this thing burst. Yeah, we're ripping now. Come on, push. This is what I'm looking for. We're at the low. Coming through. There we go. Drive. This looks good to keep going. Come on, drive. A little bit more. I don't want to give up on this thing. It just fell through on the 1 minute. Could be divergent. It hit the lows. Moving the stop to 45 just to lock in some of this. But I want to stay with this. I'm 7 pips from my take profit. This thing should fall. This would be a really nice finish to this day. Oh, you're so friggin' close. Closed it. I just closed it. I'll take the win. I was 2 pips from my take profit. I smashed it for 500. We're up 300 on the day. So we turned a losing day into a winning day and made this week that much stronger. So well done for anybody who took this trade. Like I said, I was so close to my take profit. It'll probably go, but for 2 pips, I'm not worried about 2 pips. I'll take that money. I'll take that bag. I knew what this had the potential to do. I played this really well. I knew that it has to come and at least check these lows, if not move lower, to become divergent. It was starting to become divergent as this was lower, and that's why I said, you know what? For 2 pips, it might get there, and it might do this. It might completely fall. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, see? It might completely just fall down to this reset on the 5 minute, like I was potentially seeing. Smashed my take profit right now. Thanks, Supima. Appreciate it. So obviously you can see 25 was my take profit. This was my ideal target. I made 1% on the day. I'm happy with that. Just, you know, after that L. But you can see structure. Down, correct, down, correct, down. Has to come at least check these lows, if not move lower. Smashed my 25. Made money today. What more can you ask for? It's a good day. Yo, shout out to Santiago, man, for coming in and providing lots of value. Crushing your 9%, man. Well done. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you. Everybody eating? Looks like EU. Whew. Really nice move. So, again, really good read to see. As Supima was saying, could be a head and shoulders. And I said, we want to wait and see. And he was right. Came down, went sideways, came down. So wash, rinse, repeat, wash, rinse, repeat. Thank you, Santiago. I'm getting better, man. I'm getting a lot better day by day, you know. But I trust my reads. I trust my analysis. I trust the market, really, to do what it should be doing consistently. And I'm really happy with myself that I pulled myself out of this EU position and didn't take an unnecessary stop out before it moved because I kind of got in late. So all in all, man, a wild day, but a winning day. And now you see your divergence brewing here on GJ. Lower, a low right here, but this low is lower, but it's higher. So it did push down. I knew that it could come back and correct. That's why I moved my stop up just a little bit above break even because it could retest that area. I was able to take a little bit of drawdown. I knew the market had every bit of potential to come back and check the lows, and it did push, in fact, a little lower. This was just people taking some profits, pulled back a little bit, drove winner chicken dinner. Again, this is a falling free fall TDI. There's no reason to be scared of this. You just got to stay with it and trust and believe. Hey, Santiago, thanks for being here, man. Thank you all. Supima, G, CJ, Pockets, Capital, all these guys I saw in here today, man. Probably more who haven't been talking, but yo, just know I appreciate you guys being on here every day. Like I said, next week I'm gonna have a little bit better setup here on my webcam. It's not gonna be this Mac kind of thing. It's gonna be my nice cinema camera, so it'll just be a little bit more pleasant to look at me. But the content is good. We're making money. This is a good week. Let's see where I'm at on the week. We'll do a custom real quick. I guess July 6th was the start of the week. So I'm up 7 bills on the week. And you can see, I'll post this weekly P&L. I took a lot of losses. A lot of losses. I took 1, 2, 3, 4 losses and 3 winners. But my biggest loss was on that GJ for 189. And then I had 2 $500 winners and that $10 winner yesterday, which could have been a $400-something winner if I had pulled the profits. So we're crushing, man. 700 on the week is good. It's a $3,000 month if you can keep that consistency. That pays a lot of bills. So you don't have to have a Lambo or Ferrari or any of these crazy things that you see a lot of traders doing, man. If you can make $5, $7, $1,000 a week, you can pay your bills and you can live a good life. So that's it. I appreciate you, G. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. I'm going to get out of here a little bit early because I'm done for the day. If everyone is going to continue trading, I wish you lots of luck in this crazy volatile market. Don't give back any profits. I will not be on here tomorrow because I don't trade Friday. So I'll be back Monday, hopefully with the camera. And regardless, I'll be here with the good content and trying to make some money in this market. So I appreciate you all. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Enjoy yourselves. Make sure you relax and enjoy it. I'll catch you on the flip later.